grateful you chose toilets to titles. We give fantasy football advice to get your crap team to the finals. From Nate's cousin Eddie persona and his unapologetic love for Chubb, and Justin's hatred for Chris Ballard, our show is as good as a belly rub. Mark is the best of the NFC West, putting down Penguin Pete with his love for the Rams. Grab a whiskey or a beer, we're glad you're here. Welcome to the family, but plan for gibberish and rambling. We have recent news and games of the week. We talk PPR and weekly streams. Start 'em and sit 'em, keep 'em or quit 'em. Hit the like and sub buttons for the fellas. Got any suggestions? Just tell us.
What is up, everybody? Welcome in to Toilets Titles. This is episode number 256. Week 14. I can't believe we're here. Fantasy playoffs about ready. Well, actually going in some places. Justin's not with us tonight. He had some obligations for work. I'm finally back. I feel like I've been gone for like a month. I don't know where I've been. Work and sick, I think.
Hey.
So
I just keep trading the two of you back and forth, you know. I get you 1 week, I get Justin the next, you know.
Hey, you know, like
you're together sooner or later.
You're holding steady.
Yeah,
my kids sitting here tonight too, so that'll be fun. Oh well.
All right.
But how's that? You got all your teams going to the playoffs, I assume?
No, this is probably one of my, well, I shouldn't say worst. For my home leagues that I'm usually very good in, usually top 3 every year, I'm struggling. This is probably my worst season ever. And it's mostly because I have a lot of shares of the same players, and a lot of them got hurt this year. Missed a lot of time. And, yeah, it hurts. But going to the playoffs in the staff league, are you?
No. What up, Rich? I think I'm in 7th place, and I won last week. And I should win this week, but it won't matter because I think the guy in front of me has I don't know. There's something. I don't think I'll make it. So missed that one. Missed fishbowl playoffs. I knew I would. I told Justin at the beginning of the year I wouldn't make the playoffs this year.
My record in Scott Fish was absolutely awful, but I think I only missed the playoffs by like a total of 100 points.
Mine was so bad I didn't even look. I mean, I haven't even checked because I just was like, you know what, don't care. Yeah, just not my year. I made the playoffs in a few leagues. A friend of mine started a new home league. And I think I won 9 in a row, knock on wood. I'm in first place now in that league, and I got a ton more points than everybody too in that league. But I drafted like the first 5 rounds all running backs, so I think I have Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon. So I mean, it's been pretty sweet for running back wise. So, but Rich said, yeah, he's got the same guys too. He goes. Of course, Rich is in the playoffs. Rich always makes the playoffs.
So my worst league that I can think of, I started the season 0-5. I had McCaffrey, who didn't start the season. I had Cooper Kupp, who got injured early on. I had Olave that was getting injured in and out of games. I even made a trade to get Pacheco the week he tore his the week he got hurt and went out. So, all of that stuff happened. And then I went on a 6-0 run. And I was probably last week, if I won last week, I'd have a good shot of making the playoffs. And CMC went down again. And that cost me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have CMC in 1 Where do I have him? I have him in a league somewhere. I don't know which one it is, like a dynasty league somewhere. But yeah, just been rough. It's been a weird year, But before we go, I will say Bob Trauma is asking us. Said with what Jameis and the Browns did to Denver, can he trust Steelers defense at home, or should he add the Cardinals? I would not. I would stick with the Steelers defense over the Cardinals defense.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing with Jameis is, maybe he'll score 3 touchdowns, but he'll also give you 3 interceptions to go along with it.
He prayed Jesus that he would not throw any more pick sixes. I love Jameis. I love that.
I love watching him. I just love everything about him.
He said, drop Steelers or Broncos D. If answer yes, I would pick. I've never carried 2 defenses, but I would pick both of those defenses every time over the Cardinals right now.
Yeah, 100%.
So play your matchups on that one. But anyways, I'm Nate. Obviously, you can find me on Twitter, Nate_Dirt19. You can find Mark on Twitter at SimonSays24. Or no, MT Simon. Sorry, on X. Sorry, I looked at the wrong thing. And Simon Says 24 on Discord. I'm Nate_T2T on Discord. That's where you can really hit us up and get, everything you need to know there. If you haven't joined yet, please do so. We would appreciate it. Sorry. And I just lost my train of thought. Hit that like and subscribe button if you have not yet. And got some injuries we talked about before the show. Taysom Hill. Is it season ending? I didn't know.
I think he's dead. I don't know.
him and Trevor Lawrence are hanging out at the retirement home.
Oh man, that Trevor Lawrence hit was so dirty. Like they got everything that was coming to him. The Jaguars 100% should have bum rushed that dude. That was awful. I think he did get a 3-game suspension out of it too. So hopefully Trevor's okay, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think they said today is 3-game suspension. He's appealing it, of course, like they always do. I don't know. It's kind of he goes either way. The one thing I noticed, like, it looked really bad, but what are the at the same time, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, it's hard to like stop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It
wasn't about stopping. Like he 100% went for the head. He even threw his elbow into it. Like he was targeting there. If there's a definition of targeting, that's what it is. 100%.
No, I agree. I said that one was pretty nasty. And you hate to see that. I mean,
yeah,
there's no place for that anywhere. Other news, Eberflus got fired. We knew that was coming. That was just a nightmare.
Hang with us, guys.
I'm sorry. Very sorry. Eberflus got fired, and they promoted. Now they got their pass game coordinator, and now he's the head coach. So, I don't know. Are you worried about that at all for their offense that hasn't been that good?
Okay. Rich says it was a designed run. He is a runner. You're still not allowed to target a player's head as a runner. It was a dirty play. There's no way against that. You can't argue otherwise. All right. The other injury we have.
No, I agree with, like I said, he is a design runner, but you can't try to kill the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know. I think there's all sorts of ways to look at that. Everybody's going to have their own opinion on it, So, but last week of bye weeks, there is 6 teams on bye: Ravens, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Patriots, and Commanders. It seems like it's a really late bye week. I mean, I guess it's not, but
it's loaded up too. And it just sucks because, like you said, either playoffs are starting or it's the last week right before the playoffs. And I get no one week is more important than the other, but in fantasy football, it feels like the last week of the season is more important when you're trying to fight for a playoff spot. So it sucks that we have all these teams on bye, and they're prominent teams too, with a lot of high-profile fantasy players.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like I said, with the Ravens and then the way the Broncos have been, yeah, definitely tough. So have to keep in mind. Game of the week. I think you had the best one last week. You only had 1 point. Yeah, I was terrible last week. What do you got for us this week?
This week I am going with the Bills at the Rams. We talked about it a little off air. I think after the big blowout win this week, they're going to have a little bit of letdown, flying all the way from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. I think the Rams are going to try to do what they can on offense to keep the Bills' offense off the field. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Anytime like I said, I think that's just it's all been. It's been. I lost train of thought. I can't think of what's going on right now. I think with like I said, them traveling in that last game, how big it was. I think it'll be. I think, like I said, I think the Rams are in store for some. It should be pretty fun. I think it'd be a good game.
Who you got for your game of the week?
I got the Chargers of the Chiefs. I don't know if the Chargers can hang with them. I don't know. They didn't look very good against the Falcons last week. So
I don't know. The Chiefs play everybody close now, it seems.
Yeah, that's just what they do, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It should be good Sunday Night Football. Hopefully the Chargers can take them down, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Justin's got the Packers of the Lions. I probably would have picked that one because that's one I'm obviously the most excited for. But yeah, I think that should be fun. I don't know. We'll see what Packers team shows up because sometimes it's not what we want, but that's okay. I guess I should have said the scores before we went. What were we at? I'm in the lead. You're catching me, though. You're at 122. I'm at 107. So I guess I would say I'm catching you. Just how it's working. So we'll see what happens. Upset of the week. Justin has a game we talked about earlier. I think that might have just been you and I actually talking about it. He's got the Seahawks plus 2.5 at Arizona. He said the Panthers cover, and that's who I have. I have the Panthers plus 12.5 at the Eagles. The Panthers have been playing pretty well as of late, and I think that's a lot of points. I know the Eagles are very good, and they won 8 in a row now. But that's a lot of points to cover. So that's why I like the Panthers to cover. I don't think they'll win, but I think they won't lose by almost 2 touchdowns.
Gotcha. I'm taking the Rams over the Bills. I mentioned it earlier. That's my pick. They're getting 5, but I expect them to win outright. Let's go.
I agree. And I hope they do. I really hope they do. That'd be fun for everybody. On to our stardom and situm. Steve said I don't have to cry about it. That's funny. Finley was upset with me. I am starting Justin Herbert. We talked about it earlier, or just a little bit ago. But the Chiefs' defense is really good, but they've been playing, like you said, playing everybody really close. He didn't throw a touchdown last week against the Falcons, but hopefully that's because he was saving them up for this game. So sitting, I had Geno Smith. He only put up 15 points against the Cards 2 weeks ago, and he's only put up, I think he scored like 15 and 16 points every week since their bye week. He just doesn't seem like he's been as I guess they just haven't been the same offense that they were before their bye. Not that they've been great, but just seemed like they haven't done a whole lot. So starting Brian Robinson, he's RB26, but that's really all they got. He had a big week last week, and I look for that to continue. I think I was about to say the Redskins. The Washington football team has to kind of continue to keep going. I don't know if they're I'm sure they could fall out of the playoffs, but they're gonna have to keep running the ball to kind of take some weight off of Jaden's shoulders. So I'm sitting Najee Harris. He has been great. The whole Steelers have been great, but I think the Browns defense is a little better than they played the Bengals last week and just ran all over them. I think that the Browns will be a little better stopping the run. Not a lot, but a little better. Wide receiver, I like your start is the guy I wanted because that's my dude. But I'm starting Jordan Addison. The Falcons defense stinks. And I look for Addison to kind of they had a down week last week, but the Vikings should have lost last week. And, so I think it'll be more of like when they face the Bears. And he had, I don't remember how many points. I just looked, but I forgot. I'm sorry. Sitting DJ Moore, kind of what I said earlier about Flus. I don't know what to expect with the Bears, like with their new coach, who 2 weeks ago was the pass game coordinator. Now he's the offensive coordinator. Now he's the coach. I feel like he might be in over his head. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel that great about that whole situation. And then my starting tight end, Pat Fryermuth, he's tight end 13. Had a big game last week, and he seems like he's like their number 3 guy for targets, but maybe 2, depending on Calvin Austin, how you look at that. But Russ is playing extremely well. Their offense has been good, so I like Fryermuth to keep it going. And I'm sitting Johnny Smith, which is weird because he's been, over the last 3 weeks, he's had 20-some catches or something crazy like that. But I surely like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are like, okay, we're done with this. Like, give us the ball. Let's start winning football games. So I'm probably wrong, probably a week early, maybe not. But that's how I'm sitting this week. So who you got for us?
All righty. So quarterback, I am starting Jordan Love. He's quarterback 13. Got Detroit on Thursday. I really think this game's going to turn into a shootout. I originally went looking for Goff, but he's quarterback 9 on the season, so I couldn't use him according to our rules. So I went with Love just outside. And then I was looking for a quarterback to bench, and I just thought, man, this is dumb. With all the bye weeks, half of the top 12 is on bye. Geno Smith was the last one left that I had that I could bench that I would want to. But to be honest, with everybody that's on bye, if you have Geno, you're probably not benching him.
Yeah,
him too. So I just feel like,
this week's tough for that.
Yeah, for sure. So,
just like I said, I thought it might have been more than half the top 12 are gone on a bye this week, but
yeah, for sure. So moving to running back, I am starting Tyrone Tracy, who's running back 30. You really can run against New Orleans, and the Giants aren't going to be doing anything else successful for the rest of the year. So I'm sure they're going to stick to the one little bit of success they are having and continue to run the ball. Sitting, I'm going to sit Chuba Hubbard, running back 13. Man, what a rough week he had against Tampa last week. He had 12 carries for 43 yards and a fumble in overtime that literally cost them the win. The plus side to that is they're already out of contention, so for them it's really easy to get over that versus if they were fighting for a playoff spot, it might be held a little more strongly against Chuba. But even with that being said, last week he got a 2-1 share in carries versus Brooks. Brooks had 6, he had 12. I just think they're going to want to get more of a look of Brooks for the rest of the season. So I think we might see that narrow down even closer in these next coming weeks. So I'm benching.
Didn't they extended Hubbard, but I feel like they said they want to see what Brooks has, if he's going to be their RB2 or not, or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, Hubbard's not going anywhere. I just think with a lost season, it only makes sense to see what you have. So
I agree.
The wide receiver I'm starting, you mentioned Big Mike. Dude is just a stud. That catch, that touchdown catch. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Then I'm benching Garrett Wilson. Doesn't it just seem like he's wasted now on that offense? Aaron is literally only throwing to Devontae the past few weeks. So I'm benching him. I'm starting Noah Gray for the Chiefs, tight end 20. They just keep finding ways to get him involved, and I really think they're going to continue to do so because they're going to want to keep Kelsey fresh for the playoffs. I mean, he had 13 targets last week, I think, still, but I still think they're finding ways to get other players involved just so they're not wearing Kelsey down before the playoffs come around. And then I'm sitting Tucker Kraft. I don't know how you feel about this as a Packers fan, but I just don't think he has a real high ceiling. I think maybe he has an okay floor. He had that one really monster game early on in the season, and then other than that, it's been really hit or miss. I think Chicago, he didn't even have a single point against them. I don't know if he was he hurt in that game or no.
I don't know if that was the game. He went out for a little bit. Like he's almost like he's like it reminds me of like George Kittle. Like he just wants to be out there and he doesn't care if he's blocking the whole game. Like if he gets 2 catches for 24 yards, he's happy. If he gets no catches and they win, he's happy. So it's like it's hard to start the guy, but if you don't have any other options, I have a league where I don't have any other options, so that's why I start. But like you're kind of like, who do you start? You know what I mean? And it makes you nervous to put him out there because he did score last week, but like you said, it's just his floor is low and his ceiling is I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah, right. It is a little limited. Yeah.
Oh, very limited. But I mean, I don't blame you for sitting him one bit. I mean, like I said, it's hard to fault. Like I said, it's tough. And he's better. I like him better as an NFL player than a fantasy player. You know what I mean? Like I love the guy on my team, but not my fantasy teams.
Yeah. So how about this week? Are there any waiver wire pickups that you see that might be able to help you win the upcoming weeks and into the playoffs?
So I don't know if this, and I guess I should, because I don't think I didn't look quick enough to see. I know Elijah Moore's ownership's like 20-some%. Jameis just throws it everywhere. I saw a stat earlier today. I sent everybody. It said Jameis Winston had 655 yards passing on all passes to NFL players last night. If you include the interceptions and pick sixes and stuff, so that's pretty solid day. I mean, what do you throw for 497 or something like that? Like, I mean, just anybody on that offense that like, if you're looking for, especially let's say you start somebody on Thursday night and he is a dud and you need points, like it, a Browns player, you can do worse than a guy on the Browns. And Jerry Jeudy had 200. That might have been more yards in the one game than he's had like his whole career.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at his ownership percentage, but
which is kind of ironic that Justin's not here to celebrate because he's one of the biggest Jerry Jeudy guys out there.
Well, I'm hoping he's taking victory laps out in the snow then.
Yeah.
And I like you. Who you got for us?
So I have Isaac Guerrero for the 49ers. CMC done. IR. Jordan Mason done. IR. They're dropping like flies out there, and he's the last man standing. So go pick him up.
He's fast. That dude's quick.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I saw him score a touchdown one of those games, and I'm like, that dude is quick. So, yeah, if you got any, I mean, that's at this point in the year, it's like almost like dump your rest of your fab and see what you got. If you can get him, get him. I think. This one I've struggled with weekly streams. I put Michael Wilson as a, I don't know. I don't know where to go. I feel like every time I have a weekly stream, the guy stinks. So it's just, I can't get him right with some of these guys. Like I said, or I'll pick him up and I don't start him the one week and he does great. And then he's like, well, let's plug him in. And then he doesn't do worth a darn. So like I said, I got Michael Wilson. He's been kind of, he had 5 catches last week, but it was for like 50 yards and nothing else. So maybe Trey McBride shares the love a little bit. And Wilson can get in the end zone against the Seahawks.
Yeah. I'm going with Grant Calcaterra. Calcaterra, however the hell you say it.
That's a sweet name. I don't have big enough shoulders for that jersey.
Yeah, Goddard got hurt. He's getting an MRI and he's labeled as week to week. He may not have had he may avoided serious injury, but with them saying week to week, I think it's pretty safe to assume he's out at least this week. So with them going against the Panthers, I think it's a safe stream with how bad tight end has been this year.
Tight end has been was it this miserable last year?
I feel like it's always been like for the past, I don't know, like 5 years, I feel like tight end has been awful outside of the top few. And even the top few, though, this year, I guess to your point, maybe it hasn't been as bad as this year because even the top ones aren't consistent.
No, I've never ever drafted a tight end like in the first couple rounds. Like, I mean, I've had shares of Mark Andrews where I got him late or something like that, or I got Trey McBride in a couple leagues this year, but like that was like a later pick because we didn't know,
Yeah.
or you didn't expect it, I guess. But so I've never really but it just seems like this year, like every time I look at my lineup and it's with the tight end, like, oh, we got 6 points. Oh, we got 4 points. It's like, these guys, this sucks. Like, can we plug something else in here? Like it actually does, you know what I mean? So, and I mean, even like Kyle Pitts, terrible.
Oh my God, dude, he is so bad.
Yeah.
Like literally multiple weeks with like 1 fantasy point, 0 fantasy points. It's horrible.
I'd like to see the people that like
traded away. That is, I think he's still like ranked as the maybe 13th, 14th tight end overall. Just trying to find that.
His quarterback did throw 4 interceptions last week, which was great.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts, 13th overall at tight end position.
I don't understand how.
Yeah.
I don't have any shares of him anywhere. I never have. I know a lot of people dumped everything. It seemed like, you know what I mean? When he was coming out, like, that's our guy. Got to get him. Like, yeah.
Yeah. He had 21 points against Tampa in week 8. Ever since then, his highest score is 8 points.
How many touchdowns do you have on the season? Like 2?
3.
Oh,
1 the first week and 2 that week. He had 21.
That's got to be one of the most disappointing like first round fantasy picks I can remember. Like, that's not a quarterback because obviously those, but like, a guy that you were like, yeah, this is the guy. Like, we know he's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then before it was always we blamed it on the quarterback. Now
it was so many different things, and that's what I was just going to say. I wonder what the next excuse is going to be to believe in Kyle Pitts again, because it was like, oh, well, he was injured the 1 year. Oh, he had no quarterbacks this year. Oh, now he has Kirk Cousins. Now he's going to do good again. What's next year? A new offensive coordinator or something that's who they'll get. They'll get Roman from the Chargers. And, he's the tight end guru. Kyle Pitts is going to flourish.
They want him to block. They want him to do what? He's a tight end. He's supposed to block.
Yeah.
He's not a tight end. He's like a Z receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a wild one to me. Every time I look at it, it's like, it's kind of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
But again, no shares, so I don't really care.
How about our one and done game? And it's funny that you say you struggle with the weekly streams and the weekly picks because you're kicking our asses right now in this one and done weekly pick'em game.
Now, in my defense, these are like guys that we know are going to do well. I'm not, we need to make a game next year where it's like you got to pick some bum quarterback and like waiver wire. Like the quarterback obviously wouldn't really work, but like we could do it for like running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Like that's the game you got to play. Like streamers there in our one and done. If you have like, let's say you scored 12 points on the week, you'd be doing good.
We should do a reverse one and done where we pick for each other and try to pick like the worst player of the week.
But you got to be a rule though. He's got to like at least be somewhat of a player.
A starter. Yeah.
It's like, yeah. No, I had another pretty solid week. What did I have? I have 919 points right now. Justin's behind me with 856.96. And Mark is 835.42. Mark did tell me he's bringing out the big guns this week. I'm looking for a big jump. Last week I had Russ Wilson, who got me 33.8 points. My running back was Kyron Williams, who had 18. And then my receiver was pretty down. I had A.J. Brown, only 11 points. But Brock Bowers got me 30. So that's solid. And I had Johnny Smith the week before, which was nice at tight end because I haven't had any points in that really ever. So this week I'm going with Baker Mayfield. I was really hoping I hadn't started Mike Evans yet so I could have both of those guys against the Raiders. But I did. So I already used him. So I got Baker Mayfield going against the Raiders. James Conner against the Seahawks. I'm a little nervous about that one. Kind of just a random see what happens because he's been really good some weeks, and then other weeks he seems like he gets shut down and he has 12 carries for 30 yards. So hopefully that's not this week. Wide receiver, this one is probably the dumbest thing I've done for a while. Devontae Adams against the Dolphins. He did score a touchdown last week. And like you said, Rodgers just wants to throw the ball to him. So we'll see down there in the nice weather. Even though I guess Rodgers always was bad in Florida when he was on the Packers. So we'll see what happens. And then my tight end, speaking of the tight end whisperer out there in L.A., Will Dissly at the Chiefs. Quentin Johnson can't catch the ball. Ladd McConkey can, but they got to have more than somebody else, more than that guy just to throw the ball to. So, give me Bill Dissly for some reason.
All right. All right, I'll go through Justin's lineup real quick. So last week, he actually had a pretty down week. I guess only running back and quarterback were down. He had C.J. Stroud last week, got 16.38 points. He had Chuba Hubbard at running back, had 2.3 points. He had Puka Nacua, had 17.3, and Jonnu Smith with 21.3. So this week, he is going with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Let me get back to this quick.
I'm trying to add him to the thing.
Oh. That's why I was bouncing back to see who they were playing. Sam Darnold going against Atlanta. He has Chase Brown going against the Cowboys. Who does he have at receiver this week? He has Justin Jefferson, who is on. Isn't Sam Darnold and the Vikings are on bye, aren't they? Am I wrong there?
No, they play Atlanta.
Oh, they do play Atlanta. All right. Never mind. I'm wrong. So he has Justin Jefferson. So he's going with the little mini stack there with Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson against Atlanta. And then tight end, he's going with Trey McBride.
That's how I need to start. Did I already start Trey McBride? Oh, I'm going to save him. That'd be a good one for me. You guys both started this week.
Yeah, we both took him this week. So last week I had Jared Goff, who had 20.94 points at quarterback. Running back, I had Tyrone Tracy, 14.5. Receiver, I had Nico Collins, 19.9. And I had Jonnu Smith, 21.3. I had probably one of my most overall well-balanced teams last week. Nobody who really went crazy, but probably my most solid week. But this week, we're bringing out the big guns. We're making the return to the top. We're going all out. We got Jalen Hurts, who's going to have 4 tush-push touchdowns against the Carolina Panthers.
I hate that play so much.
We have Devon A-Chain going against the lousy New York Jets rushing defense. He's going to have about 4 touchdowns. And then we both talked about him. Big Mike going against
he's scoring at least twice.
Yeah, Big Mike scoring at least twice.
Sorry, Rich. Rich is listening. He's getting mad that we're talking. We didn't really talking bad about the Raiders. We just saying that Mike Evans is going to light him up.
And then I couldn't believe I still had a good tight end left in Trey McBride, so I'm starting him against the Seahawks. So I expect 200 points this week and a new leader in the clubhouse. Minimum.
Yes. Hey, if Rich is listening, I got to know. I would need to ask him, is Antonio Pierce do you agree that he has no idea what he's doing?
I mean, I like Antonio Pierce, but I don't like him as a head coach.
That's what I mean. I'm sure he's a great dude. I'd love to drink some beers with the guy, but I don't think he just seems like he's in over his head.
Yeah.
And that's a nightmare out there. I don't know. I don't even know where they go from here, to be honest. And that's not just them. The Giants, same thing. Jets, a little nervous about them. How you doing, Frankenstein? Did you make playoffs?
No, I did not.
No, my team. I was really good. I won last week though, but I started out. I was 5-2, and then I think I lost 4 or 5 in a row. I just couldn't do anything. The week that Joe Burrow scored me like 96 points, I lost.
Yeah. So I decided I was going to let the first week determine how I was going to play this season, whether to tank for a hero or to go all out. Well, I won the first week by 2 points, and then I think I lost every week since then. So I didn't get a hero. I didn't get anything, and it just like I had a couple injuries, and then like I just started losing players left and right. And it's really once you start getting down, it's really hard to claw yourself back out of the hole.
If your team's good and you can afford to lose like one guy,
yeah,
maybe a second guy, but after that it gets like it's so hard to do, and and then you use your hero, your card or whatever, and it's like, man, then 2 weeks later it's like, shit, I wish I still had that.
Well, yeah, and like my card was Michael Myers, which is suited best to benefit a strong team. So like it really didn't help me. By the time October came around, I've lost enough players where it was useless. I lost it the first week.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fun. That's a wild one. I just wish I would have done better this year.
Yeah.
But that's okay. My team's really bad now, so I did just pick up. I think I got Jordan Addison this week. Or no, I got a running back. James Conner. Stole James Conner from a guy. Gave him Tajay Spears. Sorry about that. But
and I want to give a shout out to Nate and Chris over at the Fantasy Powers League. If you're in our Discord, go check. I think Justin posted in the title tribe section. It's a crazy league where you have all these powers and like everything you're used to not being able to do in fantasy leagues, like you do them in their leagues. Like you don't want collusion in a fantasy league. In this league, you do. Like you're making trades to hurt other teams and back and forth. And this week they have a clause where the highest scoring team makes the playoffs. So they had a coin flip today to determine which player was going to receive all the points from Philanthropist in a trade to try to make the playoffs that way. It's pretty crazy stuff over there. But I just want to give them a quick shout out about their league.
That's wild. I'd check that out. That's crazy. Some of that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. If you aren't in our Discord and you want to, it's free. Hit us up. Either one of us. You can find us on Twitter or the show at Total Styles. Find it on Twitter. Check out the website. I didn't say that earlier. TotalStyles.com. As well as our Patreon. Shout out to those guys. Thank you all so much. Sorry. I missed the waiver show last night. It was just Joe. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock last night. So that was kind of sweet, but not on purpose. So anyways, that's been fun all season with Joe and I doing the waiver stuff. So just one of the perks you get being a Patreon member. So there's plenty more than that. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for doing that. Anything else before we get out of here? This is a quick one.
Yeah, I was very quick. I'm surprised. I really don't have anything else. No.
Good luck. I think too, Joe said on the waiver show, but if you have any waiver questions, hit us up in the Discord because we're not going to do the waiver episode the following week because, it's pretty well done. So if you got questions, though, hit us up. We would be more than happy to help. So thanks again. We'll be back next week, full strength, hopefully, God willing. And we'll do it all again. So good luck this week. Good luck to your Rams. Hopefully they do it. I hope my Packers knock off the Lions. Very nervous.
Yeah, best of luck.
2 days away, and I'm already nervous.
Yeah. Are you guys locked in? You're pretty much locked in the playoffs, right?
Not quite, but I mean, we got to. I mean, pretty much. I don't know. Because I don't know. I think there's a pretty big gap between like the Vikings and us, and the Lions are all Lions and more. But like we both won 9 games. I don't know where. Because the Seahawks are in lead in your division, and what do they won? 6 games?
7. They're 7-5, They should have been 6-6, but the Jets blew that game. They were up 21-3. You know that?
Yeah, I know. Well, I watched that game because I was pissed because Brees Hall got me 6 points in a league where I needed action to do something. Him and Kenny Walker both scored me 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm looking at the standings right now. So you guys are 9-3. Washington's 8-5 as the last wild card, and then it's us, the Cardinals, and the Bucks all at 6-6. So I mean, there's a 2-game gap between those 3 teams in Washington, and then 3 games between you guys. So yeah.
I mean, we got
the Rams' real path is the division, and I think we still control our own destiny because we have a win over Seattle, and we play them one more time. So even if they're a game ahead of us, if we beat them, we'll take over with the head-to-head, and then we're tied with Arizona, and we play them again. So we really have our own path to get in the playoffs, but we'll see what happens.
All starts this weekend, right? One game at a time.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Said sorry it's a quick one, I guess, but we got it through. So we will see y'all next week. Thanks again. Have a good night.